Hey, it's Mick here from Fishing and Adventure. Now, not all hooks are the same and it does come down to personal preference, but there are a few things you need to consider when choosing the right hook. There are two main types of hooks, your recurve or circle hooks and your J or suicide hooks. Starting with the recurve hook, obviously it gets its name from the shape of the hook. As you can see, the point faces back towards the shank, so they're designed to roll when the weight comes on. I use these hooks every trip. They are my all-time favorite hook and have caught me my biggest snapper and some of my biggest kingfish. Now, fishing with a recurve hook, it's super simple. The only thing you need to remember is when you're setting the hook, you don't need to give it a big strike. I like these hooks because 90% of the time they will hook the fish in the corner of the mouth, which makes them great for deep dropping, surf casting, if you're using flasher rigs with kids or novice fishermen, or big snapper stray lining where you could hook that trophy of a lifetime. So the best thing about hooking a fish in the corner of the mouth is it's a good solid hookup, so you're less likely to drop that fish, and you're not likely to hook them in the gut or in around the gills, which means the survival rate is much better if that hook is nicely in the mouth. There are a few different options of recurve hooks from Blackmagic in offset and non-offset, but the ones we go for the most are the KLTs. Now, moving on to the Js, pretty self-explanatory, looks like a J. The point of the hook is pretty much pointing straight up. Unlike the recurve, these aren't designed to roll around into the corner of the mouth, so they do require a strike to set the hook. And we'll often pull these out of the tackle box when the fish are a little bit fiddly on the bite, so they're only picking at the baits and not fully committing to it. It means you can do a nice big strike and sometimes get a hook up that way. One J hook we use a lot is the GZ live bait hook for all of our live baiting, especially for kingfish. So it's a heavy gauge, non-offset hook. There's a full range to suit every live bait size, and even the smallest hook is super strong because we know how hard those kingies fight. And we've caught some monsters, and these hooks have never let us down. All hooks come in an offset and a non-offset design, and I'm going to show you the difference. Starting with the offset, as you can see, the point is slightly turned away from the shank, so this helps with hookup rate. One thing to keep in mind is that due to the offset design, occasionally the hook cannot fully penetrate, which could potentially mean a not so solid hookup. Moving on to the non-offset, as you can see, the point lines up with the shank, which means you'll get a more solid hookup and it's less likely to come out. That's a little look at the difference between recurve and J hooks, so hopefully it helps you choose the right hook next time you're out on a mission.